All right, let's talk about something that is, well, it's everywhere, isn't it? Artificial intelligence. You hear about it constantly. It's already in our phones, it's picking our movies, and it's basically building the future right under our noses.
I mean, think about it. You see AI slapped onto everything from self-driving cars to ChatGPT, but if someone asked you point blank, hey, what is artificial intelligence? Could you give them a simple answer? It's tougher than it sounds, right? Well, that's exactly what we're going to figure out.
Okay, so let's cut through all the noise. What is AI really? We're going to move past the buzzwords and get to a real simple explanation.
Okay, here's the simplest way to think about it. Artificial intelligence is basically when we design computers to mimic how humans think. You know, things like learning from mistakes, reasoning your way through a puzzle, solving problems, and even making decisions. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's just about making machines, well, smart.
And this is what makes AI so different from, say, a normal computer program. See, a traditional program is kind of like a robot that can only follow a very strict recipe. Step 1, Step 2, Step 3. If something's not in the recipe, it's lost. But AI, it's like a chef that you give a million ingredients to, and it figures out how to cook on its own by looking at all that data. It learns the rules instead of just following them.
This cat photo example is perfect. Let's say you want to teach a computer what a cat is. The old school way, you'd have to write code for everything. If it has pointy ears and whiskers and fur, then it's a cat. I mean, you can imagine how that would go wrong, right? But with AI, you don't do any of that. You just feed it thousands and thousands of cat pictures. And the AI, it just learns. It figures out the catness all by itself. That ability to learn from data is the absolute game changer here.
Okay, so it's also super important to know that not all AI is the same. It's not this one big, scary robot thing. It's actually useful to think about it in 3 different types. This really helps separate the stuff we're using right now from the stuff you see in movies.
So, first up, you've got narrow AI. This is basically everything we have today. Seriously, your spam filter, your Netflix recommendations, it's AI that's really good at one specific thing. Then there's general AI. Now this is the stuff of science fiction, an AI that can think and reason just like a person. Totally theoretical at this point. And way out there is super intelligent AI, something smarter than humans, a whole other debate for the future. So the main takeaway, we live in the age of narrow AI. That's what's all around us.
So, how does this stuff actually work? How does a computer learn to spot a cat or recommend a song? Let's pop the hood and take a look inside. Don't worry, we're keeping it simple, just the big ideas. At its heart, it's all about 2 things: algorithms and data. A ton of data. The algorithms are like the instructions, but they're not do this, then do that. They're more like look for patterns and all this stuff. The AI sifts through mountains of information, finds connections and patterns that a human might never see, and from that, it learns.
And there are a few key pieces of tech that make this happen. The big one is called machine learning. That's the whole idea of systems learning directly from data. A souped-up version of that is deep learning, which uses these things called neural networks that are kind of inspired by how our own brains are wired. And then you have natural language processing, or NLP. That's the magic that lets computers actually understand what we're saying, in plain English. It's what powers things like ChatGPT.
Okay, so we've got the what, the how, and the different types. But the big question is, so what? Why should you care? Well, the simple answer is that this isn't some future tech. It is already, right now, completely woven into the fabric of your daily life. Just think about today. Did you ask Siri or Alexa for anything? That's AI. Did you get a recommendation for a show on Netflix or a video on YouTube? Yep, AI. Is your email inbox mostly free of spam? You can thank an AI for that. It's working behind the scenes all the time in ways we don't even notice anymore.
And if we zoom out from just our personal lives, the impact is even more massive. We're talking about AI in healthcare that can spot diseases in scans faster than a human doctor. In business, it's crunching numbers and automating boring tasks so people can focus on bigger things. And of course, it's the brain behind huge future tech like self-driving cars and the next generation of robots.
So when you really get down to it, the whole story of AI isn't about evil robots taking over the world like in the movies. Not at all. It's really about giving computers a new way to think, a way to help us solve problems in smarter ways. It's a tool, an incredibly powerful one. So the real conversation isn't about if it's going to change our world. It already is. The real question is how we're going to shape that change. Thanks for diving into this with me.